All right, everybody. Welcome to the Last Best Take, episode number 3. Today we are going to cover the NFC and AFC West. We'll do a little bit of breakdown, talk about each team, kind of how we see the season shaking out, 1 through 4, who's going to finish where, and do some talk with that. So with that, let's start out in the AFC and with the Chiefs. Go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, so the Chiefs are kind of in a transition year. They kind of they're coming off a disappointing 6-11 season in 2025. The biggest thing with them is Patrick Mahomes. He tore his ACL and LCL, so their season kind of depends mostly on
Looking at
how
something,
long
bud.
it takes for him to recover. Can you see me?
Baylor,
Yep.
go ahead.
So he's still their franchise centerpiece. He's grinding through an intense rehab right now this offseason.
Nobody.
Where the heck? They did re-sign Travis Kelce to a 1-year deal. He should still be productive, but we'll see with that. Some of their major offseason moves, they signed Kenneth Walker to a 3-year, $43 million deal. So that should improve their run game. They also just traded for Justin Fields, sent them a 7th-round pick. So that might be an indicator that Patrick Mahomes might be out longer than originally expected. I'm not really sure why they picked Justin Fields, though, because he was kind of terrible. But nonetheless, he could come be with Andy Reid in that offense and revive his career. They lost a lot of so they lost both of their corners. Trent McDuffie was traded to the Rams, and they lost Jalen Watson in free agency to the Rams. Brian Cook, their safety, left in free agency. They also had their linebacker, Leo Chenal, leave in free agency. They have 9 picks in the draft this year because they traded one of their first-round picks to the Rams, or they acquired a first-round pick from the Rams. So their plan is to get cheaper and younger, probably in their secondary. They got to kind of rebuild that whole thing. They're still going to be pretty good. They have the coaching. They have Mahomes when he comes back, depending on when he comes back. Their biggest weakness is obviously that secondary with the key losses. They're probably going to want to add some defensive linemen to that pass rush. They lost 3 or 4 defensive tackles. They did bring in one guy. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I'm sure they're going to address that in the draft. They also have the wide receiver uncertainty with Rashee Rice's potential suspension with the domestic violence deal that he's dealing with his girlfriend, wife, whatever she is. From what I understand is she's saying that he abused her for multiple years, even while she was pregnant, but he is refusing, obviously. And if the NFL finds him guilty, it's a 10 to 12 game suspension, possibly a full year. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I kind of think they're going to have a bounce back year. They'll come back, win the division probably. Their biggest competitor is probably the Chargers. If they get healthy, Mahomes comes back. They got the good coach, so they'll come back. I think they're going to still win the division. So, yeah, that's the Chiefs. I know they're looking to get another tackle. There's talks of them maybe trading for Trent Williams. So there's that. I'm sure they address that in the draft, though. Yeah, so that's the big news on the Chiefs, and I think they're going to have a bounce back year. Probably have 11 wins and win the division.
All
What do you
right.
guys think?
My opinion on them is I think they could finish anywhere from first to third. I think the Chargers are tough. I think the Broncos getting Jalen Waddle is a good piece. I don't know that he's gonna. I mean, it's gonna come down to Bo Nix with that, but I think it also depends on how long Mahomes is out and if what kind of pieces they get for their secondary to compete for the division. What about you, Riley?
I think the Mahomes era is over. They are going to probably take third in the division. I don't care if Kenneth Walker comes in. He'll get hurt just like the rest of the years he comes in. Gets hurt every year, just like Isaiah Pacheco. They didn't do shit when he was there either. So I don't think having Kenneth Walker makes a big difference for them. Mahomes being injured is going to affect his game because he's actually, for how fat he is, he's pretty mobile. And I don't think he's going to have that
He's got that
mobility to
dad
make those
bod.
plays. What's that?
He rocks the dad bod.
Yeah, but he's not going to have that mobility anymore. And then they lost some key pieces on defense, so I just don't think they're going to be very good anymore. I mean, they're led by a well-coached Andy Reid, but I think the Broncos will be better, even though I can't stand them. I think the Chargers, if they can stay healthy, could potentially win the whole thing, that whole division. So I think it's between the Broncos and the Chargers, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
They're fraudulent.
Looking at it, I mean, the Chiefs threw the ball 64% of the time, so I think a lot of it relies on
the
Walker being
receivers
healthy.
and Travis Kelce
receivers.
being a dinosaur.
Kelsey being
Dude,
dinosaur?
yeah, he's a dinosaur. He's lost a step,
Why is he a dinosaur?
but we'll see.
Then why is he a dinosaur?
I'm gonna pause this real quick. All right. So next up, let's head over to the Chargers. Big thing with these guys is their O-line. They took some heat last year. Their tackles, both of them, went down. They went out and got a good center, kind of like Tyler Linderbaum, and added to their O-line. So I think bringing over Mike McDaniel is going to help. They got that Ravens running back. He's probably won't get a ton of time, but he does provide a spark, so he can hit a home run at any time. Last year they lose to the Broncos from taking the division. Jim Harbaugh, he's always a winner, so back-to-back 11-6 seasons. Justin Herbert, an elite quarterback in the NFL. I mean, he was the most sacked quarterback last year, so he was really missing those tackles. Definitely gonna have some help. Definitely gonna get some help from Mike McDaniel style offense. It'll take a little bit of pressure off that O-line as well. More motion, creativity, use of a fullback. They got the Ravens tight end, Charlie Kohler, so he'll help as well with that blocking. They got the Tyler Badayes. I think he from the Buffalo. Cole Strange.
Last year, I think he played on the Commanders last year, but he originally came from Dallas.
Right. That's right. So, offensive lines, like the interior, the guards is kind of a weak spot for them, but the tackles are both good if they come back healthy and ready to go. So, they re-signed Khalil Mack, Tony Jefferson, Denzel Perryman, Dalvin Tomlinson. They had a good defense last year. They did lose Owehi, the edge rusher. It's an experienced defense. It's physical, a little bit older.
They did lose their coordinator.
They did lose their coordinator. Yeah, he took over a
great coordinator.
Crumbling franchise. Depth and role players. So Trey Lance is back. Special teams. They got All-Pro Delshon Phillips. The running back room. They got Omari and Hampton. Good rookie year. I think he's going to get better. They got Vidal back. Like Herbert's the key thing on the defensive side. Derwin James, we haven't talked about yet. I think having a better offense will make that defense even better. Um, Pass catching, you may be surprised who the leading point per game fantasy receiver is. You think, oh, maybe it was Keenan Allen. Nope. Maybe it was Lad McConkey. Nope, it was Quentin Johnston. So Quentin Johnston last year, I believe he had 6 touchdowns for him. Let's check that out real quick. But Quentin Johnston was the one that stepped up. I know they have Trey Harris in there that's made some plays. Yeah, 12.2 points a game for Quentin Johnston. He had actually 8 touchdowns last year. So, and he got that off 66 targets. So, I mean, if he gets more targets this year, especially with uncertainty with Keenan Allen, he could steal some of those. Keenan Allen had 122 targets last season. So, I don't anticipate him getting that many again this year. So I think some of that's going to be spread out between Quentin Johnston and Trey Harris a little bit more this year. Another standout that was shined bright and then kind of went quiet is Oronde Gadsden. He had a couple of moments there where he stood out. He had 3 touchdowns, mostly all in 1 or 2 games, and he had about 70 targets as well. So San Diego does throw the ball around a little bit, not as much as the Chiefs. I can't see the Chiefs necessarily throwing as much if Justin Fields is there. But these guys were right there at 61% of the time they're throwing the ball. So 34 passes. Like I said, those receivers should have a good. I don't know if they'll throw that much with the lineman back and McDaniel and Harbaugh's philosophy, but I think even with the less throws, Quentin Johnston, Lad McConkey get better looks when the targets do come. So, as far as how I think they'll finish, probably about 12-5. I think that's a pretty tough division. I think it's going to be a coin toss. I think it's going to come down to injuries, a little bit of luck. I can see them taking that division and then kind of being right there to be a Super Bowl contender. Said those injuries, they stay healthy, they could get to the championship. So, what do you guys think?
Yeah, they did. I think they definitely have a shot of winning that division. Like I said, with the Chiefs, it really depends on if Mahomes comes back. Like within 4 games, he'll be out at least 4 games, I think. But if he comes back before that, they were in. I think they lost 9. They were 1-9 in 1-score games last year. So the Chiefs, that is. So I think that's going to change. Being you'll get Mahomes and Andy Reid back. So I don't think the Chargers are going to win that division. But like I said, it depends on when Mahomes comes back. The Chargers, I do like that they added Charlie Kohler with Oronde Gadsden. That's a pretty good compliment there, being that Oronde Gadsden's kind of more of a receiving tight end and Kohler's more of a blocking. And like you said, those linemen, those guards that they added in the center, those are huge because they're going to want to run the ball. They drafted the running back last year, expecting to be more of a run-first team. And that O-line improving, I think they aren't going to pass as much as they had to last year. They'll be able to move some guys this year, and I think that's really going to help them. So I see them in second place in the division, but I do like what they've done so far in free agency, and we'll kind of see what they do in the draft. Maybe they get a defensive end because Khalil Mack's kind of long in the tooth. But yeah, I think they're going to have a good year. But like I said, the Chiefs, depending on when Mahomes comes back, are probably going to win it.
Yeah, Riley, what do you think of the Ravens West?
The Ravens West? Why do you say the Ravens
Keaton
West? 'Cause
Mitchell, Charlie.
you mean our third stringers?
Sure.
They can have our third stringers. I don't care. I mean, I guess that just speaks volume of how great the Ravens are when it comes to depth, I guess. If you want to take our third stringers, by all means, take them. We're not using them. But I honestly think if they can stay healthy, they will win the division. I, yeah, I don't really see anybody other than the Broncos challenging them, and it kills me to say that, but the Broncos got by the skin of their nuts each game, like literally came down to the last second, and they got lucky every time. And so the luck is going to run out. And I think if the Chargers can stay healthy, they got it. Larry?
Larry, what do you got? What do you think of them Chargers?
Well, I won't call them because we're on social media what I like to really call the Chargers as a Raider fan. But the one thing, if those two tackles stay healthy, they of course got a great opportunity. As much as I say it, I love John Harbaugh as a coach. I think he'll do great things with that team. Especially with the addition Mitchell that gives McDaniel that flash of a running back, them two tackles. I hope that's a great beer, Ron. That you're drinking there, because let's get some advertisement more for those ice cold beverages on this night. But yeah, I do believe the Chargers will be a step above the AFC West, just like the NFC West is going to be a tough division to win. And we'll just happen to see where it all lies once the season ends.
All right, let's move on to
Yeah,
Riley.
hold on one second. They have the formula to win it and be big time playoff teams. They have the quarterback and the coach, and that's what you need. So they could win the whole AFC. So they have the team. But yeah, go ahead.
Let's move on to the Denver Broncos, Riley.
Agree with the Donkeys.
I don't want to talk much because I can't stand the Donkeys, but like I said, if they they haven't done a whole lot this free agency, right? They've lost one D lineman. The big splash obviously was the Waddle trade yesterday. That was the game changer for them because they really didn't have any threat outside of Sutton, and Sutton was getting double teamed and couldn't do crap last year. So that should open Sutton up, make him a better player. They brought back Dobbins, who I do love, but dude is like made of glass. Can't go through a full length of a season without something tearing. That's why the Ravens let go of him as well. Let's see, who else did they bring back? They pretty much re-signed everyone last year. Sean Payton's a good coach. He's always got a chance, but like I said earlier, their luck is gonna run out. I see them taking second or third in the division. Like the Chargers taking first, and I could see the Chiefs even playing better than them. I really can't stand the Broncos, and sorry, Broncos fans, but I don't give a shit.
Bo Nix away from probably the Super Bowl last year.
Bo Nix was injured. Well, let's see how Bo Nix comes back. The
That
only
was that
reason
division
Bo
with that
Nix
whole
could have made it
conference
to the
was
Super
soft.
Bowl is because the AFC was so ass last year. It was unbelievable. Like,
It was
honestly,
bad.
Well,
Drake
how
May
many?
going to the Super Bowl and what he scored 0 points on how
Problem
many
is,
drives?
how many of those were close games where you never the next year you never win those many
I'll,
close?
Yeah,
I'll
those
read I'll read
dude,
some of
it
these
was
close
like
scores
11
off for you.
games. They had like 11 games come down to the last second.
They beat the Titans by 8 points. They
They
beat
beat the Chiefs in like week 17 with the third string quarterback by like I don't even know. What
by
was
a
the score of that?
touchdown. They beat
Yeah,
the
it's like
Jets by a whole
pathetic.
2 points. They beat the Giants by 1 point. They
I
beat the
will say
Texans
their
by
defense
3.
is
They beat the
elite
Raiders by 3. They beat the Raiders again by 7.
because their offense isn't super high power. I think Waddle gives them that element, but their defense keeps the points down, which is the only reason they're even remotely good. But that's I can't stand them, so I don't want to talk too much about them. You
Yeah,
guys can go into more detail.
biggest thing about these guys is they ride and die from Bo Nix. Bo Nix is the most inconsistent quarterback. He's got super high highs and he's got super low lows. So the thing that kept them close in those close games is their defense. They had top-notch defense. They did lose Dre Greenlaw. That guy is a spark plug. makes a difference. Their secondary is kind of their weakness. The safeties. Talanoa Hufanga, the former All-Pro 49er, he's like J.K. Dobbins, like you said. He made of glass. So he's like a
He had a
firecracker,
good year this year.
explodes and
I think he
breaks.
was an All-Pro, wasn't he?
He was All-Pro, but that's because he stayed healthy. I mean, he's as good as they come when it comes to that. But Larry, what is your thought on your favorite team in the NFC or AFC West?
Well, first off, I like to acknowledge the way you introduced them, the Denver Donkeys. That is the appropriate introduction for those guys. Not really surprised. Unfortunately, I do like the addition to Jalen Waddle. You know, gives him that other threat besides Courtland Sutton with Bo Nix. But other than that, they didn't make any really big splashes, be it kind of besides that, but they also had to give up a lot for that. The first, the third, the fourth for this year. So we'll have to see how it goes. From there, all I say is, as a Raider fan, we'll keep it appropriate and just say F the Donks. I don't care.
Ron, what
Broncos
do you think?
country, let's ride.
Oh God, it's Russell Wilson. He returned.
Yes, yeah,
Holy
Russell
crap!
Ron Wilson, easy there.
Last take I got is like with Jalen Waddle coming over, athletic dude. He's gonna add a element that they'll love. I don't think he's gonna get a ton of targets. Bo Nix spreads the ball out. Only one receiver got over 120 targets. The next one was 104. It's literally spread out over like 8, 9 different guys. So I don't know where he's going to steal the targets from. I would expect him to get about 80 to 100, but where he's stealing them from, I don't know, because it's pretty much the same team as last year. So if no one else has anything else, let's hear about the revamped Raiders.
Well. I mean, we have a lot to talk about with those guys. So let's just start as far as the offensive goes. As far as the signing of Tyler Littenbaum, yes, people say we signed way too much, but nice Corona. It's almost finished. That's a good job. As far as those guys, what is it? Tyler Smith, from the Cowgirls. He's getting 24 million per year, 3 million more for Tyler Linbaum. It isn't too bad, especially as far as the Raiders, as far as we sucked, as far as goes on. Helps out with Mendoza coming in as far as a first round pick. That's always beneficial when you have somebody as far as that center that could guide the offense, set up the blocking. Also, let's not talk about Genty from last year. He was getting hit more in the backfield before he even got started. That guy will also set up as far as blocking lanes. Let's not also add the addition of a healthy the bully, JPJ, Jackson Power Johnson on that right guard. And then you also got Colton Miller, one of the top 10 left tackles when healthy. So if they could put that line in, what is a rookie's best friend? A running game. So you got Genty, and then a tight end, Brock Bowers, 2 studs back to back. Now, if we get a good as far as wide receiver, that would be nice. As far as the draft, we don't need to go with that, but from there, as far as the offense, do you guys want to discuss that? Or do you guys want to move on to the defense?
You keep going if you want.
I don't think there's much more to say.
You kind of the Jackson Powers guy, isn't he like CTE concussions? Like he's one concussion away from being done type of deal. I know you said he's good, but was he good? Last year he wasn't very good, and he was injured most of the year, I'm pretty sure, with concussions. So yeah, you brought in Tyler Linderbaum for 26 million for a center. I feel like that's a lot, but I do like the way you guys have allocated your money, though. You guys needed it, so.
Well, as far as that offensive line, yes, Lindenbaum, great. Always the stud of the. As long as you have a good center, that's always great. JPJ.
Hey, Larry, did you watch any goal line Ravens games with our Derrick Henry running back?
Did you? I could have swore we beat you
Our
guys.
offensive line was ass. We couldn't get a touchdown on the 1 yard line, and Linderbaum was a problem. But also,
No.
it wasn't just him. It was number 77,
Daniel
Falafel.
Falale.
He's ass. But I'm just saying, center didn't help us much. But you guys, glad you got him.
Well, we got him for a reason. Back
I know.
to that.
He's an upgrade.
Well, oh yes, especially from our offensive line, who I believe. Hold on, let me look at my notes here. I think we ranked pretty much last in offensive, the running game. So we pretty
What
much
about the passing game?
sucked out. Yeah,
You don't have any wide
I think he
receivers.
had more.
Yeah, I think there's the problem is that wide receiver one.
Yeah, no wide receivers. Who's catching the ball from Mendoza?
Brock Bowers. That's all you need. He's your tight end, Ron. You know.
I know he's my tight end, but he got hurt because that's all they threw him. I
Well,
want him
and
healthy.
also, once again, what's a running back's best friend? The running game. So if we can get Gentry going, go from there, and a good defense. Which should we switch to that?
You
Yes,
got
please,
to have you got to have one legit receiver that the defense doesn't have to put 8 in the box. You got to have at least one guy out there that can open it up a little bit.
Well, and Josh Best should be that guy today. We'll see how he does as far as it goes on. He didn't have the greatest year last year, but with the offensive line we had and the quarterback we had, we'll see how. There's only one way to go up, and that's up from our offensive performance. So, I mean, you can't when you start at the bottom. The only way to place to go is up. So we'll see how it goes with the hopefully a new running game, especially with Clint Kubiak, and we actually got a fullback with Connor Haywood, which obviously we know his dad, the Ironhead, which we'll have to see how that goes.
So I've got a little bit of fantasy stats. So Trey Tucker actually got more targets per game or a higher target percentage than Brock Bowers did. Just slightly, but
Brock Bowers was hurt most of the year.
Yeah, but this is just based off of targets per game.
Okay.
I mean,
They traded Myers like halfway through the season too, didn't they?
Yeah. So Bowers missed 6 games, is what it looks like.
Myers still out there.
Yeah, Myers missed 5. So yeah, I mean 90. Like nobody got over 100 targets. It's going to come down to for Mendoza. Is he as advertised or is he Ryan Leaf? So we can. I like how I threw the Montana name out there for bust, but I mean. It's going to depend on that. Mendoza, I think Gentry will have a better year with better line. Can't get much worse.
New coach.
New coach.
And offensive-minded coach.
I mean, he's one of those guys like we talked about on the last podcast that I think makes an impact when he leaves. I think it'll impact the Seahawks negatively and positively help the Raiders. So that is
Larry, you want to talk about your defense?
Oh yes, that's the greatest improvement. Granted, thank you, Riley, for sending Max Crosby.
You're welcome.
Back to us after we had such a spending of an offseason. So let's just start with the going from Patrick Graham defense to a 3-4 based Rob Leonard defense, who has obviously done a great job for us Raiders in the offense of run defense. As far as last year, we ranked 4th in the run defense under Rob Leonard as the defensive line coach. As far as a 3.9 yards per carry, the 2 things that was horrible for the Raiders is the missed tackles, and fortunately, we could not get anybody off the field for 3rd down. So how do you do that? You add a little bit of a pass rush, which we re-signed Malcolm Kuntz, especially bringing back Max Crosby, and also signed Quay Pay, a former first-round pick out of Michigan. We'll see what he has to do as far as on the defensive line, outside linebacker, putting a little pressure on the quarterback. We all know about especially the two defensive linebackers we signed as far as Quay Walker and N'Kobe Dean from both from Georgia, who signed in the 2022 draft. Quay Walker, the first round 22nd pick, and the N'Kobe Dean third round 85th round pick. Both had about 128 tackles last year, which will be solid because we absolutely lack that. And as far as adding the nickel defensive back, Taron Johnson, top 20 quarterback as far as coverage, and then a top 5 as far as coverage grade, according to PFF, and a top 5 nickel back. As far as the Raiders, we spent a lot of money. We spent great money. Let's just see. Hopefully, it all matters what happens on Sunday, how they come together. As long as we can come together like butt cheeks and stop this bullshit, we'll be doing great. Let's see how we do. Line up.
God, I'm inspired.
All right.
I think that they definitely are improved, and I hope that they, beat up the Donkeys because they're fraudulent, just like the Chiefs are fraudulent. The only real one that I think is legit is the Chargers, so can't stand any of those teams really. But if I had to, I'd say the Raiders. Yeah, probably going to be much improved this year.
I give them 6 or 7 wins. I think that the division's so tough. That may not be last place. I could, depending on how Justin Fields and Kenneth Walker and how long it takes Mahomes and if he fully recovers, that could be third place. So, Ron, what do you got?
Yeah, I like what they've done so far this offseason. They're definitely much improved. I like the coach that they brought in. It's going to improve their run game. So Ashton Genty, fantasy owners that look forward to that. Yeah, I like what they did on defense. They added a bunch of pieces. I think really going to elevate that defense. Yeah, we'll see how Mendoza does. It's tough for rookies, and those defenses he plays in that division are pretty good. The Broncos and the Chargers. The Chiefs, they lost guys, but they got a good defensive coach. So we'll see. I think they have a shot at maybe getting second or third. It kind of depends how Mendoza develops. We'll see.
I guess as far as record goes, that's the difficulty because obviously we pay everybody in the AFC West twice, and then unfortunately we also have to play the NFC West, which once again I said is a tough division. But once again, anybody could win on a Sunday, so let's line up. Let's go. Who's next?
Ron,
It might be a good thing with Davis, your owner, talking about selling. So that could potentially be a good thing. I seen he was trying to sell off the majority of the team. So
Ron, go ahead.
Yeah, we can go on.
Kick us off on the 49ers.
Okay, let me get to my notes real quick.
God damn.
So
Don't
ahead,
talk
Riley.
too much.
What do you got,
Why?
Riley?
Stand down, Ron. We know you are bricked up right now.
Yeah, that is my team, so I have a strong opinion about it. But anyways, they're coming off a pretty strong season, 12-5, injury plagued. So 12-5 with
What else?
guys off the street on defense is pretty crazy, especially in our division. We have, I think, the best 3 teams in the league. Our problem is we do have aging stars. We have that freaking stupid substation. I think maybe they need to move the practice field and fire the trainer. That way, maybe we can see if that is the issue. They need to figure it out. I'm tired of every year our guys going down to injury. It's really annoying, and it's key guys. It's not just it's our key guys. So we'll see. They've done some really good things I like this year. They're kind of in a win now situation. They brought in Mike Evans, which is huge, gives Brock Purdy a legit number one wide receiver. And he's kind of built like the receiver that Brock Purdy had in college, Hakeem Butler. I only know that because I watched the championship game. I conceived a child during that game. So I know Brock Purdy was throwing him up to Hakeem Butler, and they ended up beating Notre Dame during that. So, yeah. I didn't know Brock Purdy was going to be our quarterback at the time, which is even crazier. So
got our first trivia question down the road.
Yeah. So Mike Evans, big guy. Brock Purdy doesn't really have the arm to throw it down the field, but he does like to throw the ball up to his playmakers, and Mike Evans is going to be able to do that. He's going to be a huge red zone weapon for us. He's a big physical receiver one. So that's huge. He hasn't had that. He hasn't had a player like Mike Evans. Yeah, he may be long in the tooth, but he's still better than anybody we've had. And then they also signed Christian Kirk. He'll be the slot guy. If we get half of what Christian Kirk put in that playoff game, that 8 receptions, 144 yards, and a touchdown, if we get any production similar to that, that's going to be a huge signing. I know he's also older too, but this is kind of a low risk, high reward type of signing. So our receiving room is much improved. These are probably the best weapons that Brock Purdy has ever had. I know you guys are going to say the Brandon Ayuk, Debo thing is different, but Mike Evans brings something different than Ayuk and Debo. So he's never had a guy like this. So when we get with the Ayuk situation, we got all the drama. The 49ers took away all of his guaranteed money. So of course he didn't come play a game. He destroyed his knee in the last game that he played with the 49ers. I think he tore every ligament in his knee. So we don't really know how that's going to be. He's also kind of a head case. It seems like he's been posting weird videos on Instagram, driving 90 plus miles by the stadium in an area that's supposed to be 25. So that's kind of concerning. And then the last video, which he deleted, it was a 9-minute video of him holding an ice cream cone. No words, nothing. He's just holding the ice cream cone. And
at Dairy Queen, by the way, guys.
Yeah, free ice cream cone day. So it just melted down his hand. It was a 9-minute video. So I'm kind of concerned for maybe his mental health. Maybe somebody needs to check on him. I don't know what type of people he's hanging around with. But anyways, the 49ers are holding on to him currently. I think they're trying to get like a 7th round pick out of him. If they don't get a 7th round pick, he's going to get released and I guess go to the Commanders, play with his best friend.
We're going to trade him for McCaffrey.
Yeah, I've seen that too. But so yeah, Brock Purdy's got some great weapons with Evans, Kirk, and Ricky Pearsall. Ricky Pearsall can kind of do the things Debo was doing, but he's actually fast. As long as he can stay healthy, I know people are saying he's made of glass, but when he was healthy, he was right there with JSN in stats. I don't know if you guys knew that, but he was right there with JSN the 3 games that he played.
Bro took a bullet. I don't think he's made of glass.
Yeah, he did take a bullet. So yeah, he was right there with stats with JSN. So he's a good receiver if he can stay healthy. Of course, they also made the big trade for Osa Odighiwusa, the 3rd rounder. They sent the 3rd round to the Cowboys for that. It's adds a serious interior pass rush, improves our pass rush altogether. It's a huge deal because our pass rush was awful. So we got that. Then they went and signed. They brought Dre Greenlaw back to the 49ers from the Broncos. He reunites with Fred Warner due to that defense that we lacked. When he hits people, he hits them. I mean, just ask Big Dom in Philly how much he hits, how hard he hits. He'll tell you. Yeah, Dre Greenlaw's a mean dude. I'm happy to have him back. Then he signed John Lynch signed Nate Hobbs, just a depth, solid slot corner. We did lose Bryce Huff to retirement, which it was kind of unexpected. Maybe they did expect it. I don't know. It does weaken our pass rush a little bit, but I think maybe he's not signed yet, but I have a feeling that they're going to sign Joey Bosa to pair him up with Nick. So that'll be pretty solid. Our main thing is getting our guys back. That's going to be the biggest thing. Getting George Kittle back, getting Nick Bosa back, getting Fred Warner back, getting Mikael Williams back. Mikael Williams, he didn't have the sack production, but he could set the edge, stop the run. Then they would move him inside, which will be really nice against him next to Osa, them rushing on the interior. So just getting our guys back and healthy is going to be huge. Christian McCaffrey, I'm a little nervous for because of all the production he had to go through this year. And I bought his jersey. So I'm sorry. Every person I bought a jersey seems to either get hurt or something. So I wanted to try it one last time. If he gets hurt, I'm sorry. We also, I think we're going to be pretty good. We have elite coaching. I mean, Kyle Shanahan's one of the best coaches in the league, undeniable. The way he was able to win 12 games with that team. I mean, we had freaking Kendrick Bourne out there as one of our number one wide receiver at one point. We played 6 games with Mac Jones, our second string quarterback. George Kittle was out most of the year. He'll probably be out most of the year this year too. But yeah, we just need to get healthy, figure out the substation bull crap, maybe get a new trainer. I think Brock Purdy is going to improve. I mean, those games where he played like an MVP in like 3 of those games. I know it was against crappy teams, and when he played the Seattle, it wasn't the same. But we also didn't have any wide receivers. There was no separation whatsoever. I think they're gonna stay healthy this year, and they're gonna win the division. The Rams will be right there behind them. I think Seattle, they're gonna be good, but Sam Darnold, come on, that he's not. You get if we got any pressure on Sam Darnold in any of those games, if we got any pressure on him, it would have been a different game. He got to sit back there, make a sandwich, do whatever he wanted before he passed the ball. Our defense we were picking guys up off the street, for Christ's sake.
And so if my grandma had balls, she might have been my grandpa. But if could have been fifth, we'd all be drunk.
No, they're going to stay healthy and they're going to win the division. You'll see. Matthew Stafford's back. He's not going to be able to hold. He's already complaining about it last offseason. It's going to be worse this year. Age is always the winner. So I think the Niners got it this year. They're going all in. They're making moves. They're still got the draft. So I think maybe they draft tackle to help maybe push him in to guard at first and then move him out to tackle whenever Trent Williams retires. But I think they'll probably go defensive end if they don't pick up Bosa or anybody. But yeah, I think they're going to win the division. I know I'm a homer, but when they stay healthy, I'm not going to say when they stay healthy, they will win the division. Their defense, they have the players to do it. So that's my take on that. What do you guys think?
My take is they definitely got to stay healthy. I'm not going to bet any money that they stay healthy because that's been a losing remedy we've been the most injured team in the NFL the last 6 years. I believe it is some ridiculous amount. The defense had less sacks than several NFL players did individually. They had 20 sacks last year.
Myles Garrett had more.
Yeah, Myles Garrett definitely had more. The OC guy led the NFL in defensive pressures, or pressures from the defensive tackle position. So that's going to be a huge upgrade. They're going to have to take a little bit off Bosa. If we get the other Bosa to kind of rotate with the pass rush, it's going to be a big deal. Saying that a receiver is super old at 33 is uneducated and retarded. If you There's only been one NFL receiver that's done what Mike Evans has done. He just happens to be 49er as well, greatest of all time. Guess what? How old that guy was on his best year when he had 1,848 yards and 15 touchdowns. That's right. He was 33 as well. So, I mean, Mike Evans is going to be fine. He doesn't have his history of injuries. He'll be fine. I think Christian Kirk was a nice little pickup. I think actually the biggest winner of the Mike Evans deal is Ricky Pearsall. They had to change what Ricky does to fit the offense. Now with Mike Evans there, Ricky will be able to do what Ricky can do. He's more of an underneath possession guy with Kirk and all that good stuff too. So I think Ricky Pearsall's the winner from that whole deal. I can't. I think the Rams are too strong. I do think we have a chance to play them in the playoffs, and then it's any given Sunday. So they have Super Bowl capability. I just don't know that they win the regular season. I definitely hope so, but I definitely think they'll be a playoff team, though. Larry, what do you think?
Multiple things. I, of course, do love the addition of Mike Evans. We also know who is going to be doing the drafting of Mike Evans in the fantasy league once we
It's
start.
been a couple years. It's been a couple
Yes.
He
On
draft
the
him
other
for you or
side,
for himself?
Larry, you might want to have him draft for you.
right. Hey, as long as I win the championship, that's all that matters. All right, back to the 41ers. I think health is the one thing that is going to
Are you
hamper them.
joking right there?
No, that's the
Yeah.
Niners on
I
their
thought
health.
you were imitating the Niners in the playoffs.
Really? You're going to talk the Ravens, dude? At least
So,
we win
okay,
playoff
back
games.
to the thing as far as and we all know with the Niners, it comes down to the health of those guys. Whether they could show up. Mike Evans, great addition. Ricky Pearsall, it would be great to see what he could do underneath as far as that. George Kittle, if he could stay healthy. McCaffrey, if he could stay healthy as well. The defense, out in those guys, once again, if Fred Warner, top middle linebacker in the league, if he stays healthy, Dre Greenlaw, welcome back, But once again, that substation just has a thing that we all know as far as the health. So we'll have to see how that goes. Other than that, I always do like them as far as if they could show up every Sunday as a full 53-man roster, which they haven't been able to do either, like Riley's Ravens. So I'll pass it to him and we can continue on.
Yeah. I think last year, I mean, we've been talking about the substation. I think Christian McCaffrey had all the Infinity Stones last year, man, because he was the only one that was healthy. Everyone else was popping off. So maybe he can distribute some of those Infinity Stones and maybe, save some people. But yeah, they have to stay healthy, but we know better than we know they're not going to stay healthy. And so what I think they should do is continue to sign these free agents that they're signing and just keep adding more talent because they need it. Because we know that the first two are going to go down. So just keep adding them, stacking those players. There's plenty of defenders out there yet. Keep stacking them. Get some pass rush corners. I think the Ravens should do the exact same thing because we have a ton of injuries as well. What was else? Oh, yeah, offense. You guys are always strong. Big cock Brock. He's decent, I guess. He's no Lamar Jackson, but he can ball.
He will be an MVP
He
one of
maybe.
these years.
Yeah, that's when Lamar
If he
retires.
stays healthy all year, he'll be an MVP.
When Lamar retires.
No.
But yeah, I think you guys are gonna probably like with the Rams, they're really tough. So I think you guys are gonna be fighting for first place. So that's all I'll say about that. I'll be nice.
Then talk about the Super Bowl champs a little bit, Riley.
Well,
Chumps.
they are not going to repeat. We know that for sure. They lost a ton of talent on the defensive side of the ball, but I mean, for the most part, they retained a bunch of their core. But I think there was some talk about who's that D lineman for them, that the older one, D end. Can't think of his name right now. That was the guy's
Marcus
name.
Lawrence.
Yeah, talking about potentially retiring, I think is what I was hearing. Um, but if they lose him, that's going to be a problem. So hopefully, yeah, he stays around for him. But yeah, losing those guys on the back end, I had them on my fantasy team, so I love the Seahawks last year's defense. They were dogs, especially when it comes to interceptions, touchdowns, stuff like that. It was fantastic. Their pass rush was pretty solid. They, like I said, they lost a bunch. They didn't really gain much. They lost Kenneth Walker, which is a big deal for them, even though he was injured as well. I actually think losing Charbonnet is a bigger problem for them going down. They brought in EJ or the Wilson, right? The backup to the Packers, which he's a backup. He's not, you know what I mean? Like he will just split the carries with Charbonnet when he gets healthy, but I don't think he gives that big splash. Sam Darnold, he's not a sexy quarterback by any means, but he gets the job done. He's got probably the one of the best receivers in the game. Honestly, I think that's what makes Darnold look good is having JSN ball out there, getting 100-yard games every game, scoring touchdowns like it's nobody's business. He's just, if they're gonna get a touchdown, it's going to JSN, and it's nobody seems to stop him. His just route running is just ridiculous. So. But yeah, other than that, I don't see any offensive threat besides JSN, honestly. Sam Darnold doesn't worry you. You make him throw the ball, somebody double, cover JSN. Who do they bring in after? I mean, Rashid Shaheed, he's a kick return, punt return guy. That's all he is good at. He can go deep ball, but can Darnold get him the deep ball? Does anybody know that? I don't watch enough Seahawks games.
That's the only way that he did get the ball, and it literally came off play action, so he was so wide open that the ghost.
Well, I watched a couple. He never connected with them, which was annoying. So I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I can just see them probably falling to the third position this year. The Cardinals are probably being fourth, and then you two Niners and Rams fighting for first and second. Other than that, I don't have too much else to say. I didn't do my research, so I don't care about either of these teams at all. So
yeah,
they lost their head coach.
I'm just like, I hope I'm a Ravens fan, and I hope the next 31 teams all suck. So. That's all
So they lost their head coach or their offensive coordinator. So
I will say
a huge deal.
They do have a dog as a head coach, so I think their defense is going to be fire once again. Even losing some pieces, that dude can, make things happen. He's a great defensive mindset. So yeah, he's going to be a dog. McDonald, I wish he never left the building in Baltimore, but our dumbass let him go because John was there, and we should have let John go maybe the year or two before. So go ahead. I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the reason I had you choose the Seahawks, because I thought maybe you would know a little more about that head coach. But
he's a dog.
Losing the offense coordinator is going to be huge for them. They brought in the 49ers tight end coach, who I guess was part of the run coordination, which our run game last year sucked ass. So why they thought he would be a good offensive coordinator, I don't know. I mean, whatever. So they're losing their offense coordinator. He went to the Raiders. We already talked about them. So that's going to be a big problem for their run game, I think. They do have a solid offense, pretty good offensive line. They do need to maybe get a better right guard. I know that guy, he's inconsistent, has good games, and other times he throws lookout blocks. I think they will fall off. I like their defense. I think most of that's the coach. They would do that. They would only rush 4 and have 2 safeties back. So they would just sit back and make you run the ball on them, but the 49ers couldn't do it. So why would they think that the guy running the run game for us was a good offensive coordinator? I don't know. Anyways, so I think they lost there big time. That guy was really just a tight end coach for us. So then they lost all those key defensive players. So they're going to fall off I know they're not Devin Witherspoon. They still have him. They still have Byron Murphy. They still have guys on that defense, but the three guys, Reek Woolen, the safety that went to the Bears, those are pretty good big pieces. Kobe Bryant, those are pretty big pieces to lose on that defense, especially when their defense was kind of built on speed. You know, you can have anything underneath. We'll get to it with our speed. So that's a big loss for them. Losing Kenneth Walker, yeah, like you said, yeah, he may be banged up all the time, but Zach Charbonnet's hurt too, so they don't have a running back right now. Sam Darnold, he's going to turn back into a pumpkin. Let's be real. You get any pressure on him, he'll start seeing ghosts again. I know no team was able to do it, but this year it will happen. He did have games where he would just throw it up there and get a pick. So the Seahawks are going to fall off. They're not repeating. They'll still be good because they have a good coach. They have Sam Darnold's decent, I guess. Their defense is really good. They'll be good there, but yeah, I think they're going to take third in the division.
I think they're taking a step back. So their whole philosophy is defense first. So losing the edge rusher, losing the corners, the secondary. So if they can figure out how to fill those pieces, that's a damn good beer there, Riley. But if they can figure out how to use those pieces, because how are you going to stop the Rams if you're not getting any pressure on Stafford and you don't have anybody to take care of Puka and Devontae, and who knows, it could be A.J. Brown too. So they, to help Sam Darnold, they need to have the good defense. And they need to help that defense, they need to have a good run game. Kenneth Walker, them not bringing anybody in, Emmanuel Wilson. They have George Halani, who ran a whopping 3.3 yards a carry last year there as well. I think they have higher expectations for him, but I don't see it happening. Their own line was terrible. The previous year it did improve, but I think part of that was they got to run the ball. They had good running backs. Kenneth Walker, explosive as anybody. Charbonnet had 12 touchdowns. I'm not sure what the timetable is when he comes back. He'll be a help, but they want to do a committee, and you ain't having a committee with Holani and Wilson. So they better find a diamond in the rough somewhere in the draft to help. I don't know that it's there. I've seen a couple second, third round running backs that looked okay. But other than that, they're going to be good. They're going to be right there knocking on the door for the playoffs. I do believe they'll probably split with the Niners or probably dominate the Cardinals. I think they'll be right there. If I had to guess on a record for them, I would say they're probably going to win about 10, maybe 11 games. So it should be good enough to get in the playoffs. Larry, what do you got?
Peter?
Yeah, I have to agree with that. They're not going to be as strong as last year as far as the departure, as far as in the back end of their defense, and the loss of Kenneth Walker as far as the offensive goes. We'll have to see once again how it goes. I do believe they'll probably be in the double digits as far as wins. Once again, it goes such a strong NFC West, but then again, once again, they have to play the NFC West twice, which we all know as the Rams and the Niners will be formidable opponents as far as, and then the AFC West with the Donkeys, the Chefs, and the Ash Chargers as far as playing on the AFC West. So we'll have to see how it goes, but I do believe they'll have a good year. Sam Darnold, everyone expects him to regress, but yet alone we have yet to see it. Maybe Coach Kyle Shanahan did light a fire that no one knows about in his ass, and we'll have to check it out. So
these guys did run the ball more than any other team that I've done research on yet, by almost 10% more. So without a run game, something's got to change. And Sam Darnold, Sam
Sam Darnold credits Brock Purdy more than he credits Kyle Shanahan. I don't know if you knew that. He credits Brock Purdy's work ethic, and so that he credits Brock Purdy more than Kyle Shanahan.
I'm just gonna put this out here for the Kelsey brothers, just in case they ever see this. You know, maybe we get sponsored. Great beer, guys.
It is
Is
good.
that their beer?
Garage beer
Well,
by the Kelsey brothers.
yeah, Riley introduced it. It's good stuff. Let's start with one of the Cardinals, I guess. Larry, tell us what you think about them.
Well, they did a whole lot of let's just say nothing as far as additions. Having added Devernay, wide receiver, going to be more of a special teams guy from the Bears last year. Tyler Algier, running back from Atlanta. He'll team up with James Conner, Trey Benson. So they do have a very good depth as far as running back. Wide receiver, that's kind of where they're a little weak at. Like we had, of course, you got Marvin Harrison Jr. He's a stud. As far as behind that, you really don't have anybody. You have Michael Wilson, and then you got
Michael Wilson had 13 points per game on receiving.
Michael Wilson was solid last year.
Kendrick Bourne as their third option. So, and then as far as they did get rid of Kyler Wilson, obviously moved on to Minnesota, and they added the let's just say the mustache, Gardner Minshew. So we'll see how that goes with him behind Jacoby Brissett, who obviously had a great connection with Trey McBride. I think the biggest addition to their offseason was, and sorry, I'm going to butcher this name up, Isaac Samalu from Pittsburgh, a guard. As far as the past 2 years, he's had a pass block win rate and a run block rate greater than in the 90% percentile. That's one of their big things they had as far as a weakness in their offensive line. Did obviously add Matt Pryor, versatile player who could play offensive guard and tackle this year. And then, so as far as their wins, don't expect them to do much this year. Hopefully they got the third pick in this year. They'll probably add a defensive end. Who it is, we'll see who's there for them to draft in the third pick. Other than that, the defense, once again, they sucked. Fourth worst in sacks and pressure percentage, 30th overall. Don't have much as far as additions this year as far as free agency. They did lose Delvin Thompson, defensive tackle. As far as defense, they do have Budda Baker, solid safety. Josh Sweat, good defensive end who had 12 sacks last year. Zaven Collins, more of a hybrid linebacker, could come, more coverage and, and more rush the quarterback a little bit, more coverage. Additions, as far as defensive tackles, Roy Lopez and Walter Nolan. But as far as key additions that wow you, zero.
Algier, they got Tyler Algier. They added him. Basically, with the Cardinals, though, they lost 11 games by one score. They lost to the Niners by 1 point. They lost to the Seahawks by 3 points. They lost to the Colts by 4 points. All when these guys were all healthy and hot. The week after that, they lost to the Packers by 4. They beat the Cowboys. So, I mean, then they kind of packed it up after losing six of those games against very tough teams. Kyler Murray, again, he got hurt, got shipped out. They brought in, obviously, that Minshew. Brissett's going to win that job. Brissett made Trey McBride elite. I know I told all you guys Trey McBride would be tight end number 1. There he was. Kyler couldn't see him. Brissett made him. Brissett's not the future. They're gonna have to figure something out in the draft for that. But Michael Wilson had himself a hell of a year last year. He was in the top 24 receivers. I'm very sure of that. Like 7 touchdowns. He got 126 targets. In the set, he stayed healthy all 17 games. 7 touchdowns. So, but they do need some. They need some more help. And what's his name? The guy they got from the Niners is not it. So they have to drop there. They got Buda Baker, one of the best safeties in the game. He needs some help around him. As you said, the pass rush, I think they had 30 sacks. So they weren't much better than the Niners, and they weren't as good on offense. So I think they finish. Obviously, they're going to finish fourth. I think they get about 6 wins. So, Riley, what do you think?
I love to hear all the stats, especially about Michael Wilson, but it's like, weren't they playing from behind all the time? So they're throwing the ball like 80%. So like that shit doesn't matter to me. Like,
Well, it's going to be the
pat
same
yourself.
this year. And they,
I
like I
know.
said, they barely
So I mean, in
lost.
fantasy, yes, he's a guy, but like when you're getting how many receptions did he have? It's like, you know what I mean? Is he elite receiver? I don't think so. Can he
had
catch the ball?
78.
I hope so. So, you know, I don't know. Stats like that just make me laugh. Kind of like the Myles Garrett thing. Like they play defense more than anybody. Swear to God, their offense is so terrible. So of course he's gonna break the sack record. Um, but yeah, I just agree with you guys. I don't want to talk too much since we've talked a lot. But yeah, they're gonna take fourth. I don't see much of anything special from them at all. They're not gonna be excited.
Spoken like a true Raven fan as far as trying to throw dirt on Myles Garrett's sack record.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
No, but Myles Garrett's a dog, but how often are they on defense? Like what, like honestly. Way too much.
Ron, what do you got?
Yeah, I like some of their young pieces that they got on that defense. They're still a ways away. You got Jacoby Brissett as your QB, so he did okay. He was better than Kyler Murray as far as stats, I guess. I don't think he won very many games still, though, so that's the only stat that I care about.
Kyler with stats and worse with wins, but he was better for Trey McBride and Michael Wilson, that's for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like what they've done. I mean, they haven't really done much this free agency, but some of the guys they drafted last year, I like. Some of their drafts they've done in recent years, I like. I still think they're a ways away. Obviously, they don't have a QB like a starting their franchise guy, so they're going to be doing that. They're going to finish fourth. So that's really all I got.
Yeah, I think Tyler Algier, like, nice pickup. I don't know why the Seahawks didn't go after him. I think he's going to be the back. He's going to be the 1B to what's his name, Connor, until
James
he gets
Conner.
rid of him. So,
Yep.
That's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you listened, please share, please like, please follow us on all the different platforms. Leave some comments. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want to see, and go from there. Anybody else got anything they want to add?
Yeah, make sure you guys go like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all of the social medias you could pretty much think of, we're there. But we really want to try and up our YouTube. We also have Spotify, so it takes a little bit for our shows to get uploaded on there. So if you want to listen to that there, you can do that. But we really want our YouTube channel so go like that, like and subscribe, hit that little bell so that you get notified when our videos come up.
100 likes or subscribes, I'll slug a beer the next time we hop online to start the show. So like,
100
subscribe,
likes.
all those YouTube, Spotify, Facebook.
You'll do a what to a beer?
I'll slug one back.
Oh.
Don't get too excited there, Riley. Don't get too excited. But no, and then yeah, man, like, subscribe, just a bunch of dudes trying to talk football, and let's see where it goes. All right, line it up, fellas.
Let's get Larry to slug a beer, guys.